When you're ready. What is up, people? Steve Craven with Applying Pressure Podcast. I got the chance to meet and catch up with a fantastic guy, my man, Andy. Andy, introduce yourself, man.
Hi guys, I'm Andy, Westmoreland. I'm an oil and gas developer, driller, operator. I do it all.
On the backside of this, Andy, let's before we get into the oil and gas side of things, let's talk a little bit about, you may or may not have played a little sports in your time.
Yeah, a long time ago. It does start with oil and gas. In high school, I worked for an oil and gas guy, but I was a baseball player. Dad comes to pick me up from practice and goes, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "Working, Dad. I need money." "Get off that rig. You're going to break a finger, miss a finger like the rest of those guys. You're playing baseball." And yes, in 1983, I got drafted by the Reds.
By the Reds, man, what a fantastic story. Tell us a little bit about how that first day on the field, your first game, how was that?
That's actually a funny story. I'm a catcher. Cincinnati Reds, number 5, Johnny Bench, he's the man. He retired. We're in the clubhouse in the locker room, and they're asking me, "So, hey, Andy, what number do you want?" I went, 5. "Dude, you can't have 5. "Why not?" "I can have 5. He don't play no more." "Well, it's retired.
Oh, yeah.
Pick another number." So I became 2-3.
There you go. That's all right there, man. So you're a catcher, and how long did you play?
I played from 1983 to 1989. I bounced around in the minors with the Reds. I got traded to Baltimore, played with the Orioles in spring training. That was an interesting deal.
Sure.
In spring training, I don't care who you are as a catcher, if you're throwing the ball to Cal Ripken, even if it is spring training and not the bigs in a real game, it's pretty happening. It's
absolutely,
awesome.
Man. That's lifelong legend stories right there. That's things that you can only dream to have happen, right?
Yeah.
All these kids these days, they're growing up. That's the one big thing. If I could only, you know what I mean?
That's right.
And so if I could only just get this one shot in the MLB, I think I've made it for life. So we fast forward a little bit, and after you make it through the MLB and you retired, correct?
Yes, I quit. I actually got released, and I went to Dallas.
Yep.
My dad said I ought to go work out for the Rangers to see if I get a job, which is another funny story. They had a kid there. I was farting around the minors. They said they send me to AA, and I was like, no, I want to be in the bigs. If I can't be here, I'm going to hang them up. Why can't I? Well, we like this 17-year-old kid. Any guesses on who it was? Pudge Rodriguez.
Oh, Pudge, man. He's a legend.
He is.
Yeah.
And my old buddy Jim Sundberg would always say, "Oh, hell, we could have had you or Pudge. Damn, we made a good decision."
Yeah, hey, you know what? I'm not saying you're not good, but Pudge is a legend now.
I agree with it. It was a good pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I get it. I understand both sides of it. So we fast forward and you take a break and get out of the baseball side of things.
Yeah.
And when did you get that first feel in the oil side where you said, you know what? Now that baseball's over with, it's time for me to take this serious?
Well, I really didn't know what I was doing. I got out, had no ideas, thought about the oil business from when I was in high school. But I'm playing fast pitch softball, co-ed team, and didn't know anything about it. I threw one across the diamond and hit our first baseman, who was a female, and when she was badass, hit her right between the eyes. Woo. And I walked off the field. That was the second inning, and said, "I quit. I'm done, guys. I can't do this." And one of the guys on the team says, "Hey, I work for this oil and gas company. Come in tomorrow morning. I think they're hiring." So I went to work. Guy hired me. They said, "Hey, we're all going to deer hunt, bird hunt. If you can sell anything by Monday, you can have a job." I sold something. I had a job.
There you go.
It's been history. I've been in oil business since.
So you are hooked ever since.
Ever since.
Now, before we get into your oil and gas story of exactly where you're at now, what makes you who you are, let's go back to school for just a moment here, and let's talk about what was your dream job? Like, if I could only get the job, what would it be?
Coaching in the big leagues.
Okay. So you were you wanted to be a coach, and instead you got to be one of the coach's players, right?
Right. I got to be a player because I went to junior college playing baseball, and then I went to Texas Lutheran in Seguin in Texas, and I got drafted before I graduated. And so baseball back then, you had to have a degree to be a coach.
Sure.
So,
now, of all the people that you've met in your baseball career, is there one person that has always stuck out to you to say, man, that guy right there is just it for me? That is my friend. That is a great guy. Did you meet one specific person that just really stood out that you've never forgotten?
Not really one, but I can think of 2 or 3. On the top of my list is Cal Ripken Jr.
Yep.
His dad was a manager. Cal was there. He is always helping and working, and no matter, I mean, you got tons of people flying
Sure.
in and out. Cal was always very positive. Dude, nice throw today. You know, you're in spring training,
I love that.
split, and he's giving you, and it makes you feel good.
Absolutely.
And Fred Lynn, when he was there, he had came from Boston. He was playing with the Orioles. I was having issues, bats, because I came from the minor leagues,
Sure,
and the
sure.
bats are cracking. I don't have the good ones. Fred said, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Man, I just got crap wood." He goes, "Here, take a few of these." First time out, I hit a bomb.
Oh, man.
It was like, sweet.
There you go. Now
Fred,
I'm
you're-
in there,
Yeah,
right?
you're never getting this bat back. It's mine.
Yeah,
too.
this was going with me.
And then the last, but not, he's definitely not least, Jim Sunburn
Okay.
from Kansas
Yep,
City.
Kansas City, yep.
And he went to the Rangers, and he was a senior VP, and he was just quite an inspiration.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll fast forward again. We're going to go back into the oil side of things, man. Let's talk about some of the trials and tribulations. We all know when you first get started, there's got to be some times you were like, okay, I'm done. This is it for me. There's got to be a time where you almost wanted to give up and you just said, no, it's not going to happen.
Well, I'm from my background in sports. Matter of fact, I got a band on that I got here at this show, and it says it pretty clear: never give up. So I'm not that guy, and I don't think it ever in my career that I look at giving up. I might say this is a bad day, this is crazy that I just learned that this will happen. How do I overcome it? What do I got to do? That's been more my personality.
And we all know the mindset is everything. You
Right.
know, it's all on how you see it. It's all on how you dictate it. It's all on how you take the negative. Here's the reality. We both know the negative is going to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But if you plan for the negative to happen, the positive things are so much better because I'm prepared for this to happen. I'm from the town where Muhammad Ali's from.
Oh yeah.
And him and Mike Tyson actually say the exact same thing, just within different words. But you got two people. You got one person that wasn't prepared to get punched in the mouth, and you got one person that was prepared
That's right.
to punch in the mouth. The one that wasn't prepared took it and they didn't do well with it.
That's
the one that
correct.
was prepared already was ready to bounce back.
That's
the
correct.
difference in people right there, you know.
That's a fact. And in your question, yes, that's kind of where I get it. Yeah, you can drill a dry hole. You can get a marginal well. What I learned is that the investors that get involved in it, they don't get into it willy-nilly. They can afford the risk.
Sure.
And yes, my first dry hole that we drilled, no, I was not a happy camper.
Oh, I can only
And that
imagine.
was a lot of things. I didn't want to pick up the phone. But
You wasn't working for yourself at that time.
no,
correct?
I was working for another fella.
What did that cost him?
Well, the well we drilled was like a $4.5 million well, so it's a dry hole, so it cost him new investors. So we had to go raise the money on the next well. Well, when you're going back to the client list, they're saying, no, dude, I'm not spending $10 or $10 million. I'm done. I gave it my try, go find somebody new.
Absolutely.
That right there was probably your other question about when did I got to go do this all over again?
Yeah.
What if I go do this all over again and I get the same result? Somebody goes, oh, go find new ones. I'm like, do I have it? Do I have it in me to get on the phone and find new investors?
Yeah.
Because that's a tough.
That is tough.
That is very
and especially word travels, right? I mean, in the oil industry, I would have to assume that everybody talks quite a bit, right?
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows in every town you drill, hey, Bob, how'd you do? It was great. And the phone rings and Bob's referrals come in. They just, when it don't work, there ain't anybody in 40 towns that want to talk to you.
That's it.
It's my buddy in that town next door. Oh, that didn't work.
Yep. No, and here's the worst part about it is people talk about the bad times. They don't talk about how great it gets, right?
No, they
like,
don't.
you know, people are scared to pat themselves on the back, so to speak, and say, congratulations, you did a great job.
Oh.
But the bad times are quick to say, oh my God, Andy did this. You won't believe that he's the guy who did that.
Yeah, I'm working for our company, Transcoastal. We own 40% of Marathon's wells they're drilling in East Texas. First well we drilled, paid out in 6 months, $6 million, 6 months payout.
Wow.
All my guys, hey, are you in the next one? I want to double up. Hey, hold on. You don't want to do that. We're drilling a well. Keep what you got because it looks good, but you never know. All right, the second well, they drilled it, trying to beat what they did on the last one, hit a cavern, and there went the dry hole.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, and at that point, that had to have been a little bit frustrating for them, right?
Very.
So that's that real conversation where you just basically say, listen, guys, it was real good the first time. It probably wasn't as good the second time. That doesn't mean it's going to be like this every time. The good is great, but the bad does happen.
That's right. But, Steve, here's what you had to do. Marathon, we have 40% are drilling the third well. And what we did, we kept some of it and sold it. So we had to call our investors going, all right, you got one, you missed two, what are you going to do on three? Well, you got all aspects.
Oh,
no, hell no. Yeah, I'll give it a try. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, 1 for 2 is good. I mean, you got all kinds of baseball analogies.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The 3 was bigger than the 1, just so you know the end of the story.
Huge.
So it was all a great thing.
Hey, there you go. So then you had one good, one bad, one good, or one great. And so with the bad, good, and then the great, obviously everybody at that point saying, hey, Andy's my friend.
That's right.
But the problem with it is they don't want to go to people and say, Andy's my friend, because they don't want other guys coming in taking a piece of the pie that they could take, right?
Right. Not only that, but they don't want to take. They think a little bit further than we think. I don't want to tell my friend, and he was the one that came in on the number 2, and it didn't work for him.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
I get to tell, boy, it's working for me.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's working for it. Didn't. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yep.
They don't want to do that.
No. And my favorite part of the whole thing is whenever you're actually able to finish the product and say, see, I told you so.
Oh,
Even if the one did not work, I told you so. Trust the process, right?
Unfortunately, I can't tell them that.
No, you
I
can't.
have drilled a dry hole or two in my life and owned them. Woo! So I'm not going to tell anybody when the good one comes, see you what you could have done, because I'd have to start with about 4 or 5 that didn't work before I got the 1 or 2.
Well, I'm sure with that moving forward, you've got enough people on the positive side of things.
Yeah.
So when you drilled your first hole for your first company, tell me what that felt like knowing today I'm breaking ground, today's the day we're doing this. How did that feel to you?
All I'm going to tell you is it was very, very, just energetic. It was awesome. You'd get drilling reports. You're on this well. We're this depth. We got this much going. We added this much. This bit, we had to trip for a bit. We had to pull. We had to. Oh, it's just
So it's
exciting.
documented that in
Oh,
depth.
it documented. Day one, everything that you do is documented. Until about 8 weeks into the project, I guess I done gone to the geologist too many times. Hey, Scooter, what's this? Well, so one day I go in there and he goes, oh, hold on, let me get that report. And he reads down the report. Up there it is. And I'm like, what is it? What is it? I was all excited. He goes, drilling ahead. He goes, they're still drilling. That's the news. He goes, dude, you're going to have to.
You were so excited.
Oh, yeah. He's like, you're going to have to bring it down a notch. You're going to kill yourself.
I have to tell you, I'm the exact same way.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that I want it now.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
like to wait. And I'm telling you but see, it goes back to this whole ladder of if I could only, right?
Right.
So everybody lives this life where if I could only get the house, if I could only get the girl, if I could only get the car, if I could only get the job, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, you were at this point where if I could only just drill the hole and get this thing and get oil pumping, this is going to be the greatest thing ever.
Right.
But what happens normally is once you get it, it's normally not as great as it is. Or if it is that great, the next time it may not be like your second, hole come around on that one. But when you get knocked down and you have to stand back up again, that if I can only factor really changes a lot.
That's what my dad said way back early when I was 14, 15, and 16, was there's a word called maturity.
Yeah.
I learned a new definition of maturity. Not how old I was.
Yes, sir.
But when you're dealing with oil and gas and you get a good one,
Yep.
and then you get a bad one, you get real mature real
Oh,
fast.
yeah. It'll humble
So,
you real quick.
Big,
huh?
big time.
So, Andy, look, I want to do one last thing with you. I want to get on a full podcast with you. We're going to sit down, man. You got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to talk about with you.
Yeah.
We can jump on a Zoom, or I'll come down to Texas, whatever we need to do. But we're going to go back to when you were 13 years old. And at
Wow.
13 years old, you sitting here now today, I want you to look in that camera, and I want you to tell yourself something positive that you would have not have thought about at 13 years old. It could be a piece of advice. It could be inspiration. It could be don't give up. It could be anything you want. Just tell that camera one thing that you want to tell yourself back at 13.
Well, at 13 years old, I didn't really know whether I was good enough to play baseball. My dad had asked me if I wanted to play pro ball. I said yes. And I guess we moved from the Philippines, and there was an old friend of my dad's in the Philippines. And basically he said, "Oh, Andy, all you do is, if you think it, you can do it."
Yep.
So from that point forward, I thought I was playing pro ball.
I love it.
And
if you think
it
that
happened.
you can do it. You know, manifesting's everything. It's huge. You know what I mean? On all sides of everything. Is there any social medias you would like to give out for people to be able to follow you, maybe contact you, to be able to find out how do they get in contact, maybe get on an interview with you or anything like that?
I'm the only one social media I use is LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I'm not a social media guy, but you can always send me a text or send me an email at tm2squared.com or tm2squared@gmail.com.
Yep.
And I'm open
Hey, that sounds great.
to anything.
Andy, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much.
I'm Steve Craven, applying pressure.